Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30 in the morning, and there's been a bit of a change of plans. Yesterday, 3 COVID cases were discovered here in Sydney, in the CBD, and so that means that Sydney has been declared like COVID hotspot. It's like an orange zone. So my permit to travel down to Victoria was cancelled. My flight was cancelled. So I've just been scrambling, trying to make everything work. Stayed up last night. So I moved onto a flight at 7 o'clock this morning. So that means I basically am going to be getting out of here at 5 this morning, which is the earliest I can possibly get out of here. And then I had to reapply. Now I've got a different type of permit to travel to Victoria because I'm in this orange zone. And I guess the way that it works now is, you know, everything changes because I'm coming from a place that actually has confirmed COVID, which is weird because I've been locked in here for 14 days. I think even if there was a zombie plague outside right now, the chances of me getting it or having had it so far have to be pretty slim. But I guess I am about to get in a taxi, you know, so I suppose there is a chance that I catch it, you know, between here and the airport or even at the airport. But yeah, this is it. 4:30 in the morning, my alarm just went off. I'm still 9/10 asleep. I've got an orange for breakfast. Just shoving everything in my bags last night. Didn't really sleep at all because I'm too excited, too many things going on in my head. So here it comes, freedom. I'm going to walk out this door in about 15 or 20 minutes and I cannot wait. So hopefully I can bring you guys along today and show you what a little bit of freedom looks like. Here it comes. I can't believe it. Feels really odd to be getting out of here. And yeah, new adventures start now. Oh, here it is, everybody. It's a few hours later now. The plane flight down from Sydney to just outside Melbourne was pretty easy as far as plane flights go. I was a bit shocked. I looked down at one point and I could see snow on the mountains because, of course, it's winter here in Australia. And so all the ski resorts are actually open right now. They've been getting lots of snow lately. And anyway, yeah, really easy flight. And as you can see, I'm outside, which I'm really happy about. And actually, I have my flip-flops off right now. So full bare feet on the grass because this is what I've been looking forward to for so long. And there's a reason actually that I'm out here by myself and that I'm not with my family. And that is because I'm not allowed to be with my family. So because I flew down from Sydney, which has been declared an orange zone because they had 3 COVID cases, I had to get approval to even come to this state. And I had to get a COVID test. I did that basically as soon as we left the airport. I went and got yet another COVID test. And until I get the results of that test, I have to isolate. I'm not allowed to go inside of a shop. I'm not allowed to hang out with my family. So even though, you know, I've got my 2 little nephews, my dad even surprised me and came to the airport, but I can't even hug my dad. I couldn't even hug my brother or my nephews because still after 14 days of being locked in a room, they think that I'm a COVID risk, or, you know, the government thinks I'm a COVID risk. And so I have to keep isolating. I have to stay separate from everybody else. So it's pretty wild, but you know, those are the rules and I want to follow the rules because I don't want to infect anyone with COVID if I do actually have it, if I manage to catch it as I was leaving the hotel or while I was on the plane, as slim as those chances are. But you can see I've just come for a walk here from my brother's house and there's a beautiful little river here and the beach is 10 minutes away. So we might actually go for a surf a little bit later. We'll see what the wind's doing, what the waves are doing. But I just wanted to show you guys, it's really funny. Every time I come back to Australia, I have these expectations and I think I know what I'm going to get or expect to see. But then when I get here, I'm always blown away. It is so much more beautiful than kind of I'm used to or than I'm expecting. And the trees, the river, the sunshine, even the birds. As my brother said, it's like, it's all really familiar. It's like, I remember all of this deep down inside, but at the same time, it's kind of unfamiliar because it's all new, or it's all like, I don't have specific memories of this stuff. I have like vague memories, but it's getting me really excited to actually be here. I walked over, I could actually hear the ocean earlier. I still haven't been in or I haven't walked on the beach yet, but that's coming up. But even just to look at like the leaves on the trees, the grass, the greenery, and of course walking around without bare feet on is helping to exaggerate all of that. But you know, like most of the trees, like this big one here behind me, that's a gum tree. You know, that's the kind of tree that koalas live in. And so it just, it's funny, you know, you'd think that I'd be used to it. I've probably done this 10 times in my life, maybe 8, come back, you know, from somewhere else in the world to Australia. But I don't know that I'll ever get used to it or that it will ever be normal or familiar. So I am going to acclimatise, I'm going to sink in. I'm so stoked to be out of that hotel room. I'm so stoked to have sunshine on my face and green grass and even a little bit of dirt under my feet right now is not a bad thing at all. And just to be outside like this is incredible. This is basically what I was dreaming of that whole time. And you can see it is a very beautiful place. So I have to hang out for about 24 hours roughly until I get my COVID results. And then once I've had the COVID results, hopefully then, you know, it'll be negative and then I'm free and I can actually do whatever I want, wherever I want. So until then, I'll be spending a lot of time on my own still, but the time is coming very close where I get to do whatever I want. And with any luck, I'll be picking up a new vehicle here sometime this week. It should be ready for me and the build will begin, the adventure will begin. So plenty of updates coming. Thanks very much for sticking with me through quarantine. All of your comments, all of your suggestions, everything really helped me get through, kept me smiling, kept me laughing. So thanks very much, I really do appreciate it. And stick around, plenty of exciting updates coming right here on The Road Chose Me. So here we are, it is the next day and I got my negative COVID result, which is awesome. It means my brother and I are out surfing. So we're about to head down there to about those waves breaking right there. You can see they come into this bay and this is coastal Australia. Check this out. Talk about a cure to being stuck in a hotel room for 14 days. Look how gorgeous this place is. The swell's rolling in. We're actually on the Great Ocean Road. This is a super famous part of Southern Australia. My brother's house is like 5 minutes away, but you can see I've got this permagrin. This is a bit nuts. And my brother's got spare surfboards and a wetsuit for me and everything, so we can just jump right in. And one of the things I'm really excited about here in Australia, part of the reason I have a roof rack designed into my new Jeep is so that I can bring surfboards with me on this trip. So my previous trips, the Pan American Highway and all the way around Africa, I didn't bring any toys. I didn't bring a mountain bike. I didn't bring surfboards. It just didn't seem right. It didn't seem like it was going to be a good idea and that I'd get a good blend of like adventure sports and overlanding. Whereas here in Australia, I feel like it's just perfect to be able to get out and do a whole bunch of surfing. I hope to do a ton of mountain biking as well and hiking while overlanding to remote places and, you know, the wild deserts and all of that kind of stuff. So throughout the trip here in Australia, I'll be giving you updates and I'll show you places where I'm surfing. I'm by no means a good surfer. I'm really only learning. My brother moved here to the beach about 5 or 6 years ago, and that's when he picked it up. And so he's been trying to teach me, and every time I've been back in Australia, we race out and go surfing whenever we can. But yeah, I'm gonna get a board that'll be about 7 feet long, maybe 7 feet 6. And I'm looking for one that has lots of volume because that should make it a bit easier. So it's not a traditional longboard, it's not 9 feet long, but it's definitely not a short board either. Something that's like 6 feet long. I can't ride those at all. I've tried a few times and I just fall off over the nose every time. So it is winter here in Australia. In case you couldn't tell, yes, this is what winter looks like in Southern Australia. And that is the Southern Ocean we're looking at. So actually it goes down to Tasmania and then all the way to Antarctica. So this is as cold as the water gets, or as the ocean gets in Australia, really, off the mainland. And today I'll be wearing a wetsuit that's about 3 mil and 2 mil on my arms and legs. And that'll be enough to keep me warm for about an hour. After that, I probably won't be able to feel my hands and my feet anymore. But that's as cold as it ever gets in Australia for surfing. Everything other than this is going to be warmer, and it'll get to the point where I can just wear a pair of shorts and go surfing. So as you can tell, I'm pretty excited to get out surfing. This is literally what I was dreaming of when I was in quarantine for 14 days. And plenty of updates coming about my surfing progress. With any luck, it'll be a little bit like the juggling, a little bit like the didgeridoo, slow and steady practice, and I should get better as time goes on. So no more time to waste. My brother's waving at me frantically. He wants to get in the water, and I'm wasting time right now. So let's get at it. Surfing, quarantine is done. New adventures coming soon. So we drove on a little bit further from that spot. The waves weren't quite working there. And here we are. I've just been in the water for about an hour and 15. And again, this is winter in Australia, so things are pretty good. And so my brother and I were just surfing out. You can see where everyone's out in the water out there. We were a bit to the right of all of them, over closer to the reef. And my brother's trying to teach me how to sit in the right spot, how to paddle at the right time, all of that stuff. And I can stay in the water for about an hour, maybe catch like 6 or 8 waves. And then I actually just get so exhausted that when I try to stand up, I just fall over. So then I hit my limit, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I need to go and rest and recuperate and try again tomorrow. But I'm very excited to be hanging out on beaches like this for the next year or so. This just feels like a whole different world from where I've come from in Canada, and blowing my mind that I've got a year and a half to roam Australia, hit the beaches, improve my surfing, and have a whole bunch of adventures along the way. So in terms of cure for being stuck in a room for 14 days, I'll take this. This is good. So again, thanks for sticking with me through quarantine. I'm glad that's behind me. I feel like I've washed it off. On to new adventures.